everybody, I'm Alex Pandrea and welcome to Over This World. Over This World is my take on Paul Curry's Out of This World. Everybody has their different versions, and I put together over the years a three-phase routine using the concept of separating out red cards from black cards. In the first phase, the cards are shuffled up and cut by the spectator multiple times. Cards are taken out one by one from anywhere that they want, and you're able to tell if it's red or black. After calling out the colors of the cards, you then proceed to outjog every single red card and separate them from the blacks. For the last phase, the spectators actually deal out to themselves all the black cards, separating them from all the red cards, both at the same time. All right, here we go with Over This World. So what I'm going to try to do is show you a talent of mine that has no use besides this trick. So if anything, it'll be a good trick. So this is what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you to have the cards in your hand, okay? Now, if you were to take the top card and feel the top card and try to guess what the color is, it'd be hard. It'd be a 50-50, right? This is what I'm going to try to do. Read the colors of the cards without looking at it, all right? So cut the deck anywhere so you know that it's random. Yep, cut it. And place the top card on the table over here, all right? See, this one's easy. This is a red card. Perfect. Tina, can you grab the cards if you don't mind? Yep. Top card, yeah, or it doesn't matter. Put it here. Put it here. Let's try this top card. That's a red card. Oh, great. Cut the deck anywhere you want. Great. Place the top card here. That's a black one. Okay. Oh, perfect. Can you pass the deck? Just spread through a little bit of the cards. All right. Yeah, and take out a card, any card that you want, and place it here. Which one? That one? Yeah. That one is a red card. Perfect. Do like the second from bottom. Second card from the bottom of the pack so you don't think I saw anything. All right, place it here. That's a red card. All right, cut the deck. Yep, perfect. Take the top card. Let's see. Black. Oh, sweet. You pass it to Tina. And just spread through. Give me a small number. 7. Take the 7th card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a black card. Place it here. That's a black card. There we go. Now that we're warmed up, I'm going to try to do something a little bit even weirder. So I'm going to try to see. This is perfect. If I can get every single card out from here. So I think that's red. This one, these two. How do you think I'm doing? Pretty good so far? Yeah. I think this one, yep. These 4 actually. That one, this, that, these 3, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think one more over here. So as you can see, yes, I've separated, right? How do you think I did?
Great. I think you did great.
Well, let's see. Every single card. All the red cards from all the blacks.
That's amazing.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And that's Over This World. This is one of my favorite plots in Magic, and I hope you make it your own. There's a lot of different variations and techniques that we're going to go over that you can build into your own routine. So I hope you enjoy it. Welcome to Over This World. All right, everybody, welcome to the explanation part of Over This World, which is my take on Out of This World. Out of This World is one of the most famous plots in Magic, invented by Paul Curry in 1942. Everybody has a version of Out of This World, and it has to deal with separating the cards into reds and blacks after they've been shuffled, and face down, the red cards get separated from the black cards. So my version is sort of built into a whole routine where the cards are shuffled and you are able to guess if the cards are red or black. And this is also taken a little bit from Card Fictions, which is one of my favorite books. And there's an effect in there called Color Sense. So I love that plot where you're able to guess if it's red or black. So I combined sort of the both concepts together to put this whole routine together. So we're going to go through how to do the actual effect of guessing if it's red or black with the Out of This World finale, where you're separating reds and blacks, plus a version where everything is hands off and the two spectators do everything that there is for Out of This World. So it's called Over This World. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get into the explanation right now. All right, the explanation of the effect will be broken up into three parts. First, we're going to have the part where the spectator shuffles and they cut and they take cards out from different locations, and you are able to tell if it's red or black, okay? The second part will be the part where the deck is in your hands and we're going to separate without looking on out-jog cards and separate them into reds and blacks, okay? And there's a few versions of that. And the third part will be where the spectators take, one person takes half the deck, the other person takes half the deck and deals out. And it's a very nice touch on one of my favorite Out of This World. So we'll go into that all step by step. Okay, so as you saw in the performance, what's going to happen is the cards are going to be shuffled, handed to the spectator, and he's going to do a various amounts of cuts or taking cards out from here or many different ways, but the idea is that no matter what card he takes, you will know if it's red or black. So here is the setup, and it's very, very simple, and it flies by everybody. You have separated the red cards from the black cards, all right? So you could have this set up ahead of time, or you could go to the deck and call the cards one by one, but it's very easy to get this set up, okay? Just like that. Now you can do a whole bunch of very nice red-black false shuffles, because you don't need to have every single card in the same order. You just need the reds and the blacks in the same order. So one thing I like to do is just do a standard overhand shuffle, where once I get near the middle, I run the cards, and once I know I'm past that halfway mark, you could run them again. So now you've kept the cards in reds and blacks separated just like this. Another very standard one is I pull out cards from the middle, just like this. So I break it up into thirds. I pick up here, this comes out, all right, and I strip out. All right, now I'm going to shuffle the cards. So now what's going to happen is that the red cards are going into the red and the black cards are going into the black, just like that. So now when the cards get shuffled, they stay in the same order with the exception of a few cards in the middle. All right, so this might happen often, so I usually just take a look, just separate those few cards, and now you're good to go. But the best way to do this is have the spectator shuffle. So you can do false shuffles all you want and then give it to the spectator. What I do is, again, I take out half the cards from the middle, just like this, and I place them on the table. All right, so now they're on the table, and I say if they could shuffle the cards. All right, they're going to riffle shuffle. All right, and this is, of course, if they can riffle shuffle the cards, and you give it to someone that can. Push them in, or you can do this and have them push it in, but it's a very nice, convincing way to show that the cards are being shuffled. They push it in, and now you still have the cards in a red-black separation, as you can see here. So the cards are separated, reds and blacks. That is the first step. So it really convinces the spectator that the cards are shuffled to begin with. All right. Here is the second step. Okay, so now the second step is, once we have it in this order, you want to get it into the order for the cutting procedure. So what's going to happen is you're going to take half of the top half. So let's say this is the top half with the red cards, all right? Let's make sure that we're half and half so you know what we're talking about here. We've split up the deck into reds and blacks. You want to take half of the reds, which are on top, whatever ones are on top, you want to take half of them and cut them to the bottom, okay? So we're going to replace that. So you don't have to break it beforehand, you just estimate about that many cards, which should be 1/4 of the deck, right? If it's half and half, half of half. And I just cut it just like this. So now your situation is half of the reds all of the blacks and half of the reds. All right, so that is your setup. Half reds, all blacks, and half reds for the effect. Now you want to keep in mind which ones are on top and bottom and which one is the middle, because the starting point is very important. So right now we're going to keep in mind we have the reds on the bottom and top and the blacks all in the middle. Okay, once you have that, you can begin the routine. Great, so now we're to step number 3, where you're going to actually give the pack to the spectator and you're going to let them do a procedure where they cut, where they spread, pull out the cards, reach in, grab cards. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to go through a few of them now. So here's the basic idea. When the spectator cuts the pack, they usually cut in the middle, okay? And you could tell them, cut anywhere you want, you know, just cut the pack, or cut in the middle, or cut the deck in two, any sort of phrase that you want that they would cut the cards, right? Whether it be on the table or in their hands, they understand to do one complete cut, and usually they do into the middle. So chances are, and this has never happened of them to cut like this, if you see you know, you give it to a spectator that will cooperate, most likely. Of course, you don't want to do magic in general for people that don't cooperate, but they will cooperate and cut the deck as they see fit. So they will cut the deck, and what happens when they cut the deck is they're cutting into the black section, okay? Whether they cut from here, from here, from here, they will be cutting into the black section, because half of these are just, you see, only these cards are red on top, all right? So when they cut the cards, there is now a black card on top, and now what you've done is you've switched the order. Now all red cards are in the middle, and the blacks are on the bottom, and the blacks are on the top, right? So now you know this is a black card. You tell them to place it on the table, and you read the card however way you want. You could reveal it at this point or collect a series of cards and read them off. So I like to tell them off the bat, take the top card, hold it in your hand, and I don't look at this point, my head is turned away, that's a black card. Cut it again. They take the cards, they cut again. Now they're cutting into the red cards. So they cut again, and you know the top card is red. So you look away, you just put your hand, you feel it out, and you say top card is red. Yes. You do this a couple more times. Depending on how many people are there, you could pass it to the next person. Cut again, they cut again. Now they're cutting into the black cards. So now you know that this is black. The arrangement is black. Everything in the middle is red and black on top. So you know this is a black card. You feel it out, maybe you touch it here and you say, yes, black card, and you do this for 3 or 4 times. Now it gets a little more interesting. Instead of telling them to cut, now you know black cards are on top, so you could spread a few cards. Go ahead, spread through and take out a card. So spread through 3 or 4 cards, doesn't matter. They do this, okay? Now you know all these are black, okay? So it doesn't matter what card they take. Feel it, black, okay? Go ahead, cut the deck again. Now you're cutting, so now the red cards are on top and bottom. Go ahead, take the second to bottom card, so you don't think I saw the bottom card, or the third to bottom card. They take out the third to bottom card. Red, you do this. Go ahead, take out, name a number, all right, like a small number. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, red. Boom. Go ahead, pinch your fingers and grab a card from the middle. If they're going into the middle, and you could sort of peek it, you know they're going to take out a black card because all the black cards are in the middle. Take out a black card and name it black. Okay, so here are the different ways that I do it. Cut, take out a few from on the top, name a small number, take the second from the bottom so you don't think I saw the bottom card, take out a card from the middle. This is all up to you. You know the arrangement of the cards. You know that it's black, red, black, however way you want to do it is up to you at this point. Let's go through it one more time, and I'm going to show you a visual with different colored backs right now. Okay, I've taken the liberty of splitting these up into 2 different colored backs so you see what's going on. All the red cards will be a red back knock, and all the black cards will be blue back, right? You have this set up where they're separated, just like this, okay? Now you can do false shuffles where you go, and again, false shuffles with a red-black separation is very easy. Okay, just shuffle past that halfway mark. If you want, you can take half. This is a very nice way of doing it. I in jog or out jog, it really doesn't matter, and I split. So now what's happening is you're shuffling the blacks into the blacks and the reds into the reds when you riffle. You can give it to the spectator to riffle, or you can do a pharaoh. Doesn't really matter. Shuffle just like that, and we still have, with the exception of here, 3. All right. Sometimes you could use this to your advantage. So face up, you can spread through it and just flash this part, right? So you could show that they're shuffled. And all you have to do now is just call a few cards. So I like to call them 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Call these cards, and now you're good to go into the same spread. But this is the situation of where you want it. Now to start up the routine, I cut 1/4, which is half of the top half. So this case is going to be black, right? Goes to the bottom. And now you're ready. You have all the red cards in the middle, the black cards on bottom and top. You give it to the spectator. They can cut. They cut into the middle. Place the card on the table or hold it in their hand or hold it to their chest. And now you could read the color. So that's a red card. Okay, cut again. They cut. Hold it. Don't let me see it. You're standing away. You're not looking. Black card. Okay, take the second or third card or the fifth card. Doesn't matter. Okay, that's a black card. Okay, if they cut again, now you know the reds are on top. Go ahead. Second from bottom, third from bottom, fifth from bottom, whatever. They take a card. You know that's red. Okay, go ahead. Pinch your fingers. Grab a card from the middle. You know that's black. So on and so forth. They could spread and take out a card, and just by knowing the position of where they spread from, you're going to visually see this, all right? And they don't have, this is just for visual reference, that you spread, and if you see they take out a card from the middle, you know that has to be a black card. So on and so forth. So on and so forth, so on and so forth. So it's a very nice way of knowing exactly where all the cards are, and once you know that, you know exactly which card they took. So with that being said, once you learn that, we can go into the ending of this where you will separate all the cards in the pack. Okay, now it's time for the finale of this part of the effect. You're in this position. You have a certain color, red on the bottom and top, and blacks in the middle. Now you want to, so what it looks like is going to happen is you're going to separate by feel. You're going to separate red cards from black cards, strip them out, and for an out-of-this-world finale. The way to do this is you need to get back to the starting position of having all the red cards on one side and all the black cards on the other. The easiest way to do this, and sometimes I forget myself, but it's no problem, is to crimp a card and cut at the crimp. So when we start the effect, we have them like this, reds on the bottoms and blacks on top. I would crimp the top card, okay? In this case, it's the 7 of spades. Hold it face up, and I'm going to give it a breather crimp. So I press down, my 2 fingers go beneath the card, my thumb on top. My 2 fingers in my left hand go beneath the card in the corners and press on top. I press down and I press down. You could do this way. It really doesn't matter how you do it, but crimp the card. And it doesn't have to be a breather crimp. I am comfortable using a breather crimp. And that goes on top, okay? So now once the effect has started and you're back in this position and the cards are cut, obviously face down, cut, take out cards, blah, blah, blah. Once you get the cards back, if you cut at the breather crimp, bringing it to the top, you are now back set up in this position where it's reds and blacks, okay? It's not necessary to do this. Sometimes, like I said, I do forget, and I just grab the cards, right? They're in this position, okay? I grab the cards, and I just get to the break. I tilt them ahead of, so the spectator doesn't see. I look through the cards really quickly. I get to the separation of this, and now I'm just going to perform a turnover pass as I turn over the cards, and now they are back into reds and blacks. Okay, so however way you want to do this, it's not important because they don't know something is coming. So you grab the cards, I just look through them, cut or do a turnover pass, or however way, get them back to this position, and you're ready to do the final part. So what is the final part? this is what's going to happen. You're going to hold the cards like this. They think, again, because we shuffled in the beginning, that the cards are mixed, reds and blacks, and we don't know exactly which any of the cards are. By feel, you are able to feel every single card. Now you take the cards, and you're going to go and spread the cards, and now you're going to out jog, just like this, about half the deck. So I would go 1, 2, and I go this one, and usually my head is turned to the side while I do this. This one, this one, this one, and you're out jogging about half the cards, okay? So you could go through them just like this, out jog a bunch. Don't make it every other one, make it maybe every third, then bring 2 up, then these 3, I think these, no, this, and then you play it up at this point because it really doesn't matter. You out jog half the cards and make it messy as you can. Don't make it too messy, but you're going to need this moment to square up. So now that you have half the cards here out jogged, you're in this position. You can show this to the spectator that it's not perfect, right? Now what's going to happen, it's going to look like you're going to take the cards out, strip them out, cut them to the table, and separate that these cards are the red cards, these cards are the black cards. That's not what's going to happen. This is what's really going to happen. You show this to the spectator. As you strip out, okay, you're going to do 2 things. Remember the situation. Half the cards from the top are red. Half the cards from the bottom are black, all right? So all we're going to do is strip out only the red cards from the reds and place them back on top. And the way we do this is this finger, as I turn down like this, and as my middle finger is out jogging the cards to the side to strip them out, as all that is happening, the index finger is going to pull more than half of the cards. So say the halfway mark is here, you want to pull about that many cards, all right? And I'm going to push them flush. This is hidden from here, all right? And it's all done with this finger. As my hand turns, that happens. Now from here, it still looks like half the cards are out jogged. I'm going to separate by using this finger and out jogging, side jogging or angle jogging these cards, all right? I'm going to pull them out with my left hand, just like that. So I'm pulling out these cards, the ones that I out jogged, place this deck down to the table, and the rest go on top, okay? And what that's done is it's put them in the exact same order of how it started with, okay? So let me go ahead and show you with the red cards. So I'm going to take the red cards back from the red back and do it once again. Here it is. I'm going to do the effect. At the end, I get it back into this position, all reds and blacks separated. From here, all reds and blacks separated. And I'm going to come and I'm going to feel the cards and take half out. And I think this one, and again, my head is turned, this one, I think, this one here, this one here, this one, these 2, actually I think 4. These 4, I think, that one, here, boom, and these 2. Now you're in this position, okay? You've separated, and you still have blacks on top, reds on the bottom. You show this to the spectator that they're not perfect, that they're in chunks and everything, and as you turn down, the right hand pulls more than half, pushes in, okay? This happens here. I'm going to angle jog these cards, right? And now all I'm doing is separating the blacks from the blacks. I'm taking them out just like that, just the blacks from the blacks. The rest of the pack comes down, places this on the table. I come up, grab this, place it on the table. You've separated basically the blacks from the blacks, and now you're in the exact same situation. Now I reveal the cards and I say I've separated all the reds from all the blacks. Okay, so really fast, do this, come here, separate, boom, boom, boom. These 2, these 3, this one, these 2, this one, I feel this one, and all this is done with my head turned. Boom, boom, blah, blah, blah. and you get to the end, and you get here, okay? Square them up, show it to the spectator, say I've separated by feel all the black cards from the red cards, push in, angle jog, separate blacks from the blacks, put down, and now I've separated the reds and all the blacks. And you could end on this note here for this part of the effect. Okay, so now let's take a look at the out of this world ending where the two spectators deal down, or the magician and a spectator deals down and separates the cards. Now, I do this one of two ways. You can substitute the ending of separating out the cards at the end of after guessing red and black for this one, or you can do it at the end of everything that we previously learned. So it's a very simple idea, and it's just a little bit of a change from, I saw Leonard Green do a really great Out of This World. So take a look at Leonard Green's Out of This World version. It's very, very nice, and I do it all the time. And this is just a nice way of doing it with two spectators. But it's more or less the same concept. So let's take a look at that. What we have here is the cards separated, reds and blacks, okay? So again, if you're doing this at the end of everything that we just learned, of them cutting, you guessing the cards, and now you separated them, all right? You're gonna want to fall shuffle again. So get them to shuffle back and do everything that we previously learned to make it look like the cards are shuffled, all right? Now at this point, they think that the cards are shuffled, but in fact, you're splitting them reds and blacks. Now you have two spectators, or if you don't have two spectators, you use yourself as one spectator and the one spectator as the second person. You're going to split the cards into the reds and blacks. So I like to keep a break exactly halfway, all right? Now what's going to happen is I'm going to take half the deck and give it to one spectator, and take half the deck and give it to the second, all right? So now there's two spectators that are dealing, all right? And I'm going to do it with one half, but just imagine that both of them are happening at the same time. So you come here, and you're going to tell them that you're going to deal down, and you're going to try to feel this time and separate the cards out. So deal down, if you think it's, so just remember you gave the red, let's say, to the spectator on the left. So you tell them these instructions. I'm going to ask you to deal down, and when you feel it's red, deal it down to yourself. If you don't think it's red, throw it off to the side. This will be the discard pile. Okay, so we have a discard pile over here. The spectator on your other side will do the same thing with the blacks. So if they think it's black, deal it down to themselves. If they don't, discard it here. Okay, so this is going to be the discard pile. So now it's super easy because obviously all these are red, all these are black. So they're dealing and we're separating over here. They're dealing over here and they're separating the ones that they don't think are black. So they're dealing all the black cards to themselves, and this spectator is dealing all the red cards to themselves. So this is happening basically at the same time. So this is happening, boom, boom, and this is happening. So because it's happening at the same time, the discard pile at the end of the day will be all mixed up. All right? You can show that and say, so these are the ones that you didn't have a feeling on. All the ones that you dealt to yourself over here are all black. They dealt themselves all the blacks, and all the ones that you thought were red over here are all red. So once again, we'll go over it with all the red cards being red backed and all the black cards being blue backed, so you can see exactly what's going on. You have these cards here. You could do false shuffles all you want. You could have the spectator shuffle the way we learned before, but you're in this situation. You're going to go through, hold a break between the two halves, and give the red cards to the spectator over here and the black cards to the spectator over there. They think that they're shuffled at this point, okay? You're going to tell them, you're going to deal down, and when you feel that they're red to the one that has the red cards, you're going to deal it down to yourself. If you don't think it's red, toss it away. This is going to be the discard pile. We don't care about them. So they're going to do this, and they're going to try to deal themselves only the red cards, all right? And at the same time, this person is dealing and discarding what they feel is going to be the black card. So they're discarding and at the same time mixing the discard pile. So at the end you can show this, but no matter what happens, they're dealing over here only the black cards, right? All these are still black, and over here they're dealing only the red cards. So at the end of the day, even though they discard the reds, all the red cards will be in their pile, just like that, and all the black cards will be in the correct pile. All right, so there you have the explanation for Over This World. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about this, okay? You can start from phase 1, go to 2, go to 3. Sometimes I split it up. I just do the third phase with 2 spectators and I leave it at that. Sometimes I just do the first one and I leave it at that. So you can play around with it and make it your own, basically. Once you know all the techniques, feel free to play around and mix it all up. One thing you do want to keep in mind is to constantly practice knowing in the first phase when they cut, you can see from a long distance where they cut, if it's good or not, and to make it seem like you're not even looking at it. So it's all hands off and you guess everything. Also, you can play into the advantage, and sometimes I mix this in, and this is just a bit of advertising. For the knock decks, they're all marked for color, correct? So what you can do is have somebody really shuffle and guess the colors of the cards, okay? Then move into this routine where you're far away, you're basically in the other room. So keep in mind, sometimes I do this if I have a lecture or a show with people in the front row. I give them the deck, and I start over there, cut, place the card to your chest. Move to the next person, give the deck to the next person, cut, place a card to your chest. And now you're just remembering the sequence, okay? So red, red, black, red, and if you remember that sequence, you can have them pick whatever card you want. So if you need a black one in the next sequence and then another black, you tell them to cut the deck so the black one is on top and then go 3 or 4 cards down, okay? So all these can be switched around to your own preference. Once you keep that in mind, you'll have a lot of fun with it. Just play around with it, have fun, and let me know what you come up with. I'm available through the Blue Crown email addresses or on Facebook. So let me know, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.